Hey! How are you doing today? If you are doing well. Hope yesterday's presentation was nice. I'm gonna upload the first ever presentation, the story time, on YouTube just after that stream, by the way. But yeah, hope you are doing well. Hope that you are ready for this presentation. Today is a direct following of what we talked about yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about how to handle stress as a student, basically, as an art apprentice, when you are basically in the learning stage. Now we are doing the part 2. At first I was thinking we could do a 2-part presentation about stress. One about being a student or not professional, and one about being a pro. But while starting to write about the presentation about being a pro, I was like, hey, there's also the in-between stage between when you are not a student anymore, not a pro yet, when you're basically looking for a job. And I know that this won't affect everyone, because sometimes, especially if you are in a very good school, wink wink, generally you tend to find a job right at the end of the school. Like, you do your presentation at the end of the year, there are a bunch of professionals and they are hiring you directly. And if the school is good, that's how it works. If the school is less good, or if you a bit late to the party, or maybe you still need to polish a bit your work, well, you would be in that very uncomfortable stage post-graduation, but not employed yet. But for most school now, it's kind of okay, because people are hiring you right at the end of the year, basically, when you get your degree. In the school I've been from, and I've been teaching, not recently, but in the past, most of the students were facing that struggle. And generally that phase where you are not a student anymore and not a pro yet, and you are struggling to find your first job, at least in that school in Lyon, it was between 6 months to 2 years, sometimes 3. And a lot of people are quitting, a lot of people are getting depressed, a lot of people are trying to completely forget their dreams and kind of get bitter and hopeless. And this is definitely not comfortable at all. So yeah, I think this deserves its own video. So let's talk about that. We'll follow the exact same structure as before. First of all, we define the problem. Then we'll talk about the not that good tips that articles are giving, that overall people are giving in general. I will be way less harsh on those tips for unemployment rather than about students, because the tips are a bit better already. But again, it's improvement. It's not fixing the problem. It's just to make things more bearable. And finally, we'll talk about my takes on that, and hopefully give some actionable things to do. So again, let's remember everyone the definition of stress and anxiety, which I think are kind of similar in that case. The definition of stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances. Anxiety, it's a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. As we said, in any case, adverse or demanding circumstances and uncertain outcome. It's basically your brain freaking out about a situation that might or might not happen, but that is basically out of your comfort zone. And your brain is trying to play devil's advocate in order to protect you from what it thinks would be the worst case scenario. It sparks anxiety and stress in order to make you react. That's my take, at least. And as we said, sometimes there's a solution of tightening that screw. Like, hey, you need some pressure and stuff like that. Maybe it's too tight now and it's becoming a problem. So yesterday's solution is becoming today's problem. So let's see how we can address that. So back to the different case studies or problems. First of all, stress related from status. Basically, overnight, you go from, hey, cool, I'm a graduate student, I have my degree, that's cool, let's party, yeah, cool, to fuck. I'm basically unemployed. I'm a jobless loser. That's the first one. Second one, stress related to a new environment. Basically, you are leaving school and getting back home. You don't have your buddies anymore in the class. Maybe you are getting back to mom and dad's home. So it's not the best to go from, hey, I have my entire class, I have 30 people nearby me, I have my buddies, I can go to the bar, to, hey, everyone is getting back home, everyone is getting scattered across the country, or even the world sometimes. I don't see as much people as before. I don't have my team around me to help me in person. I can go drink with my buddies, have a coffee time. Plus, I'm back to my parents' home and I need to deal with that after a few years of not being with them. We are kind of generally not very compatible. Then we have stress related to social skills, basically losing all the social aspect of the class. People are getting back to dad and mom's home, as we said. Some people are absolutely disappearing from the radar, and others are just getting busy with the job they just got. And you also lose track of them. There is also stress related to learning by yourself. Technically, should have been addressed while you were at school. But we'll still talk about that because there are other skills that sometimes the school is not teaching you. Like, how do you get your first job, or do you negotiate your first salary and stuff like that? That's something you tend to learn by yourself with experience. So it can be a bit intimidating to learn something that is non-art related, basically. You can also have a lot of stress related to basically, hey, I don't know what I want to do. Will I have to do this first job forever? If I'm starting as an environment designer, will I do that for my entire life? Do I want it? What do I want? These kind of questions. Then you might have stress related to getting your first job, your first application. So basically when you are applying, you're like, oh my God, this is stressful. I need to apply. I need to do the art test. I need to do an interview. Oh my God, I got my first job. Will I be able to perform enough and stuff like that? This can be very stressful. You can have stress related to dealing with rejection, especially when you are applying to like dozens and dozens of companies and they are either not responding or saying no, something like that. You have stress related to competition by basically seeing all your buddies succeed before you, and it feels kind of bad because you're like, oh my God, they're succeeding. I feel so bad. They're so much more better than us. You have stress related to finance as an employed person, aka generally, I'm having to pay everything by myself. Dad and mom are not helping me anymore. Plus my student loan payment is starting pretty soon. To me, the student loan is the biggest source of stress in general, from what I've seen at least. Also have stress related to exterior expectations, like your parents again, your friends, your teachers. I had an anecdote of an ex-buddy of mine. He was so stressed because he finished school 3 years before his girlfriend. And his girlfriend, when she graduated from her school, which is not art related at all, she got a job instantly and it was like, it's been 3 years, I'm still unemployed, and she get a job directly. I don't want to become a financial liability to her, basically. So it was okay because she was still studying, but now that she's bringing most of the money to the table, I feel bad about that. Which is absolutely legitimate, to be honest. There's also stress related to toxic surrounding and jealous people. This is going to be a bit dark. I'm sorry, but this is so important, especially after school. Because when you leave school, when you are left on your own, people are changing. You need to be able to handle that. Because some people, especially the jealous ones, try to drag you down covertly. Because they fear you succeed and they don't. It will make feel them bad. So they tend, rather than doing the work for them, they tend to drag people down and sabotage them. This is going to be a bit dark, but this is a very important subject. And finally, we might have stress related to tunnel vision and lack of frame, which is basically you don't know where you want to go. You don't know what to do. You're just drifting away and letting yourself go, basically. Which happened quite a lot of time, especially after stressful time, like 3 to 5 years at school. So let's have a look at some articles that were not that bad. But few of them, at least when you are unemployed, there's way more articles, and even from the government and stuff like that are trying to help you, because it might be looking for your first job, but also losing a job when you're like a senior engineer or whatever. It might be hard to deal with. So let me just share my screen to show the few articles I got. I'm not saying those are the best. Those are just the first one that I found that were kind of interesting, at least. So first one is from Praxis. Why you shouldn't stress about your first job. This is kind of meh, to be honest. You don't know what you want yet. Good, okay. Company is more important than the role. Debatable. Okay. Or more than the job title or task. I totally disagree with that on a business standpoint. On a human standpoint, okay. On a business standpoint, if you want results, totally disagree with that. I will explain why maybe in a video in the future. But basically, your first job and your job in general is just to make money. And the company's mission is your mission. And if you start thinking like that, does that mean forgetting who you are and what you want? If you start thinking like that, you will grow better results. And you would be in a much more better shape in order to find your first job. If you are placing the company first and its mission first. Not learning how to succeed at X, but how to succeed. What does that mean? Whatever. You can get behind if you're moving ahead. True, but how is that helping me? I have no idea. What you will be doing in 20 years doesn't exist yet. Arguable. It's also an evolution of what you will start to do. It will be a natural evolution. So whatever. You're becoming something, not doing something. Yes, but again, if you are on a business standpoint and want results, you should not really worry about that yet. But yeah, you are becoming a professional. And technically, at the end of school, you are a professional. But you just don't have the confirmation yet. So, Canada May. Second one is from Beachside Teen. I have no idea what it is. It seems to be a teen treatment center. So probably to help kids and stuff like that. TLDR is just describing, okay, you are stressed about your first job. It's going to be okay. You're going to make mistakes. It's going to be okay. So let's keep that one. The next one is from helpguide.org. It's mainly about losing a job, but there are some stuff interesting. Allowing yourself to grieve, whatever. Yeah, give yourself time to adjust. Write about your feelings. Accept reality. Avoid beating yourself up. Think of your job loss as a temporary setback. Look for any silver lining. This is cool. But this is not helping. This is improvement. Like, look for any silver lining. What about find? some silver lining, instead of just waiting for angels to come and to help you. Just create those opportunities instead of looking for them. That's my advice. That's my opinion on that take. Reach out to stay strong, of course. You need to reach out, whatever. Build new friendship. Okay, join a job club. Okay, network for new employment. Yes, of course. Involve your family for support, of course. What other ways to define yourself? Interesting. Again, what does that mean in application? I don't know. I'm not saying that to be cynical or to be a dick, but just to show that this is improvement, not new opportunity. Get moving to relieve stress, eat well, take care of yourself. Yeah, good daddy. Thank you. Thank you. But hey daddy, how do I get a job? How do I pay my student loans? How do I stop feeling like shit? Can you answer to me with that article? No.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night.
So, and there's another one, health.org.uk. It was mainly about people losing their job during the pandemic, so whatever. Yeah, let's close those. So, again, you can do all of that in the background if you want. This is fine, and these are not bad advice. I wouldn't argue against going to the gym, doing your best to eat well, sleep well, get help from your family and your friends and whatever. Okay, that's fine. Assuming that everyone knows that. But at least there's something interesting with that. That it highlights the fact that when we are a student, when we are in art school or grinding for so long, we tend to develop very bad habits. It can be bad sleep, sleeping like 3 hours per night, eating shit like only pastas and Uber Eats and fast food for years, eating the same thing over and over and over again, like pasta and ham or noodles. Generally, when we are a student, as we said yesterday, we often sacrifice almost everything for those years at school, like social life, sleep, health, free time, hobbies, because it's so demanding and it needs all of our time. The problem is that we very quickly develop those bad habits, and it can kind of compound over years. Not eating properly, not going to the gym or the dojo anymore, quitting hobbies like playing music, doing archery, whatever. We also tend to seclude ourselves socially with our classmates, being our only social circle for most of us. Same with sleeping 3 hours per night, not taking care of our appearance or whatever, and so on. And all these bad habits, if we are not careful, are going to remain and stay once we graduate and left school. And whether you get a job instantly after school or need to fight a bit to get it, on the long term it will affect your health and your mood, so it will affect your productivity, your ability to remain calm and focused at work. So it's a vicious circle. It will start hindering your productivity and your employability in the middle to long term, depending on who you are. So as for studies, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And while you can afford to burn the candlestick on both ends, for a while at least, you definitely don't want these bad habits to compound over years and deal very bad results on you. I'm going to give you a very personal example. I think I mentioned that yesterday or 2 days ago, but basically when I joined art school, I was weighing 58 kilos, which is fucking skinny for my I'm not tall by any means, not small either, but 58 kilos is kind of skinny. It's on the skinny side of the spectrum for me. And I was also doing a lot of sports like martial arts before. I was doing archery, which is very good for cardio. When I joined the art school, I left all of those sports and activities a lot of hobbies too. And when I left art school after my burnout, I was 52 kilos. So 13 pounds lost. It took me almost 1 year eating kind of properly to get back to 58 kilos. It's only like 1 year and a half ago now that I started working out and going to the gym. And I can promise you that the first thing that I noticed is that it was so fucking hard for me to gain weight and to gain muscle and stuff like that. Basically, the first year of working out was just to make my bones harder. Because I couldn't even handle the pressure. See my wrist, above 14 kilos, I can't even grasp it properly for a long time. So the problem is not the weight I have when I'm squatting or doing the bench press or whatever. It's just grasping because my tendons and my bones are so weak because of that. And also the problem is that, let's say I gain a bit. It's a battle every day to have some gains. And if I'm not regular for like 1 week, I'm losing the entire month worth of working out and eating properly. All of that because of terrible sleep schedule, terrible eating habits when I was at school, and not working out at all. Basically, my bones melted and got weaker, which is perfectly normal when you are not doing that. And also, within my buddies from school, we got the exact opposite with some people who gained like 10 to 20 kilos in less than 3 years because they were stress eating or eating junk food for 3 years and also drop exercising. And I can tell you they were definitely not happy about that. And it's the same as me for them. It's a real battle to adjust back to something that is normal for them. Same with sleep habits, same with social habits. Some of us had no friend anymore outside of school. And when we left, and some of us went back home to like mom and dad's home. Some people had nothing left anymore to hang out with. So it's kind of tough. I'm sorry it's starting kind of down, but we've figured out some solution, I promise. So that's why it's very important to acknowledge all those potential bad habits if you have them as soon as possible, even at school if you can. The best way to avoid those bad habits is to not develop them in the first place, but that's another discussion. And sometimes you can't really afford that. It's arguable, but generally you can't afford that. So make sure when you leave school, basically, to recognize those bad habits and try to address them as soon as possible. And you will see that we describe that now that we are talking about the new opportunities. So, first one. About the stress related to not knowing what you want to do or what you want. This one is very important. Usually you should have the entire years at school to orient yourself towards what you want to do, but sometimes some people don't want what they want to do till the end or want to do everything, which is basically the same problem. So I want to start with this one, even if you already know where you want to go. I want to point out the fact that it's so important to have goals and directions. If you don't know where you want to go, you will just wander forever without guidance. I'm going to make a simple comparison. It's going to be very easy to understand for people who play Sea of Thieves, for example. Let's say you are in an ocean, there's plenty of islands. If you don't know which island you want to visit, you would just swim and swim and swim or sail, whatever. Just go from one island to another, gain back on your track, and explore different islands. Or if you are planning your destination, like I want to go to that big island at the other side of the ocean, you can start planning the journey. So there will be this island first. We're going to sail on that one. We're going to stop on this one for the night. Then on this one, then on this one, we're going to grab some food on this one. And then finally, we're going to reach this one. It's like when you are hiking too. There are two kinds of people who are hiking the mountains. Those who are like YOLO, let's follow the signs. And those who are, okay, let's have a GPS. Let's see the trip on the maps, to make sure. Let's have some backup plans in case some road is blocked or there is rain or snow. and generally tends to be a bit better. So if you exactly know where you want to go, you can plan your journey. And even if your goal is super big, you can break that goal, that big goal down into smaller and smaller and smaller bits and break them again if it's still too big, until you can handle every small step individually. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That's what they say, I think. And it's very important because it gives you a plan. So even if you basically don't know where you want to go, at least you have a plan and you can stick to it. So you might not know where on the long term it goes because you're playing very long term. At least every day you have a goal, you have a light at the end of the tunnel. So it's super important. And it's also very important to break those goals into smaller and smaller and smaller until you can handle them individually. If you are like, my goal is to be an art director at Blizzard. Whew, oh boy, that's a lot. That's like 15 years of experience. Plus you need to go to Blizzard, you need to start somewhere, so that's a lot of problems. So, okay, before that I need to be a lead concept artist. Before that I need to be a senior. Before that I need to be a junior. Before that I need to join Blizzard. And before that I need to just join the industry. So let's start with joining the industry. Once it's fixed, let's go towards Blizzard. Then let's go towards getting experience at Blizzard. Then getting a lead position. Then getting another direction position. Basically, you break that down. You don't forget the end goal. So yeah, just take some paper, take a notebook, something like that. Write your goal and break that down and do your research. But generally, if the school is good, again, you shouldn't have that problem. Because the school should be there to help you in order to define what you want to do. And also, they will tell you what you are good at and what you can afford to do, generally, if the school is very good. The next one that is kind of tied to not knowing what you want to do is related to status, stress related to status. Basically, overnight, you go from, hey, I'm a graduate student, to I'm basically an unemployed loser. So it's kind of hard. This one is kind of tricky to address because while we can try to lie to ourselves, we can't really argue against cold harsh facts. So as long as you don't have a contract with a job, you will know that you are unemployed. So it's kind of hard to argue against that. But you can at least condition yourself to make it more bearable and know that it's temporary. And this is already a very good start. And there's a difference between telling yourself, hey, this is just temporary, and having an actionable plan about that. So, something you will notice pretty fast when you apply is that you need to apply the fact that you need to fake it till you make it, basically, if you want to get hired. It's not about lying to people. It's rather about basically the industry wants to hire professionals. They don't want students, they want professionals. Technically, when you left school, once you graduate, you are up to the professional level, but you need to adopt a professional mindset and attitude. And you need to sell yourself as a professional already. So if a company asks you, hey, are you a professional? You must say, no, I'm just a postgraduate student. Like, fuck yeah, I'm already a professional. And this is my first job to confirm that. I will prove that to you. So, can I like you to say that? How do you do that? This is probably the only time in that presentation that I will tell yourself to do some kind of daily affirmation about that, you know, to kind of brainwash yourself to believe in advance that you are already a professional. This might be the weird approach. I have a better one that is basically to write your goals. Again, we are back to your goals. Because it's kind of hard to lie to yourself like, hey, I am already an art director at Blizzard. No. You're a 25 years old kid. You don't have any experience yet. Doesn't mean that you are bad. It's just that you don't have the experience required. But rather than that, get a book that is dedicated to that. Get a nice pen, you get a nice book, a nice Moleskine or whatever. This is what my mentor is telling me. I've been doing that for almost a year. I can tell you that if you do that just for 1 month, just right for 1 month, it's almost what it costs a notebook and a nice pen. It's like $10. It costs you like 10 minutes of your time per day. Been doing that for almost a year. You will see it brings results. Get that nice notebook that is only dedicated to that. You get that nice pen that you only write on that notebook, only for that. And you write your goals and objectives at the present tense. Even if your goals are bold and big. One of my mentors used the acronym BBHAG, BAG, basically, which is big, bold, hairy, ambitious goal. And you write them daily once you wake up. Or once you are just about to start walking. And basically write them at the present tense. And this is kind of a daily ritual you do to remind you daily about what you are fighting for every day and what you want. As you are writing that on the present tense, you are kind of conditioning yourself to believe it's possible. This is the ultimate fake it till you make it, but it works on the long term if you stick to it and also if you set high goals. Big, bold, hairy, ambitious goals. Aim very high, because if you aim very high, you will solicit more strength and more energy, and you will try to find some resources to achieve that. Let's say you fail, you will still go further and higher than if you set mediocre small goals and achieve that. Basically, if you achieve that, it's not high enough. It's not normal. So, I've been having a few of those. This is my last one. It's called Request to the World. That's a French translation. I'm writing that basically daily. It's a brand new one. Always the same things. Until at some point you reach some goals and you change them. I'm gonna write them. I also have it in my marketing book. This is my most up to date. I just wanted to start. This is a notebook that I have about some marketing books. But there is a page called Intentions. I like that journal. It's not sponsored, by the way, but it's called the bullet journal. Kinda like it. It's very well done. It's very nice. It's a bit expensive, but it's very nice. And yeah, the first thing there is a page called Intention, just to write your goals. My goals, personally, at the moment are I want 5 million euros in stable coins on the yielding program in crypto. And I'm living out of the interest of those last ones. I'm investing heavily into real estate. There is no money problem anymore, and my family is safe financially. Nothing related to art. And those are my goals overall. You can apply that to art or to your life in general. I'm never criticizing myself for free. I am benevolent and constructive with myself. I take time to celebrate and to basically give myself some gift when I'm succeeding. Hello, Zaltisk, welcome. And you? Welcome to the Art Nest. How are you doing? Today we are talking about how to handle stress. If you're new to the channel, my name is Timothée Maton. I'm a freelance concept artist and illustrator for the AAA industry for over 5 to 6 years now. I've been working at Ubisoft, Quantic Dream, NetEase Games, Netflix, range games. I've been working for D&D Games Workshop and many other games. I'm just basically doing some kind of daily presentations with that goal of giving worldwide advice about how to get your first job in the industry and how to thrive as an artist. Oh, nice. Anyways, welcome to the channel. Hope you will like it. Today we are talking about how to handle stress once you are not a student anymore, but not a professional of the industry anymore. I was just talking about writing your goals. So basically, yeah, you get a nice notebook. This is mindset. But it is also to condition yourself, and it's kind of working. I know if you just stumble right now, it seems a bit esoteric, I know, but whatever. Yeah, writing big, bold, hairy, ambitious goals, and something you can't really achieve right now, but you write them at the present tense as if it was already done. It will start to make you believe it's possible. At some point, you will realize that you achieve them, and you will update your goals. Actually, I'm not an artist. I don't draw. I just find art stream fascinating. I guess these people would work outside. Oh yeah, they definitely work outside of that, for sure. This is a tip that one of my mentor gave me. I can't legally give his name, unfortunately, because I sent some NDAs and this guy don't want to get known as a mentor. But basically, this guy is an entrepreneur. He's a billionaire. He's in the self-care and finance business. So nothing related to art. And I'm across the 100% that he's coaching, I'm the only artist. So yeah, definitely you can apply that. So yeah, you're writing that every day once when you are starting to work. Generally, it works kind of well. So back to the goals. First one was I have 5 million euros in stablecoins on a yielding platform. I'm living out of the interest of them. I'm investing heavily into real estate. The money is not a problem anymore, and my family is financially safe. Oh, you're a finance student? Nice. Good. I'm never criticizing myself for free. I'm benevolent and constructive with myself. I take time to celebrate and to give myself when I'm succeeding. To treat myself. That's a better translation. I have a nice apartment in Lyon, France. Comfortable, secure with my cat, in which I feel at home and where people are feeling well. This goal, for example, is already achieved. It was set last year. I started to do that last year. And this goal, I mean, it's achieved now. I don't know where my cat is. It's probably not in the other room, but basically I'm now my own apartment, my own cat. I'm feeling well and stuff like that. 1 year ago, I was still at my mom's home, by the way, with no job and no money. I'm a high quality person that other person wants to be and who attracts other high quality person. I help people become better versions of themselves. And this is that quality that makes me impossible to replace, basically. Yeah, French is my first language. I know I have a bit of an accent, by the way. This is fine. I'm also working on that while streaming. Next goal is I'm an entrepreneur and visionary that is loved, sought after, magnetic, and that people are looking for its advice. I'm an artist that lives without any client, totally free from the AAA industry. At some point, I'm going to do a presentation about that. I bring positivity and wisdom to people and to my public. I'm amongst the top 1% of crypto artists. Every of my publication is seen with enthusiasm and excitation. I'm a marketing expert. I'm a sales expert. My project called Neige is a video game with AAA quality created 100% without any influence of marketing, without any compromise about its vision. Neige is a visual reference. It's a narrative reference. It's a gameplay reference. It's a game that is therapeutic. So these are my goals, and it has been moving a lot. For example, on the financial side, I started with I want to earn 50k a year. So very quickly, I want to earn 100k a year. And then it was I want to earn 300k a year. Still not cheap, by the way. I'm like, hey, it's 100k a year. It's not enough. And now it's like, hey, I just want 5 millions on my my crypto account. So you update, and some of them are already achieved. Like I'm living with my apartment, stuff like that. It was not the case last year. So about the stress related from status, this is a way to handle the fact that overnight you are going from, hey, I just graduated to I'm a jobless loser. So this is a way to handle that, to keep track of what you want, and to kind of brainwash yourself into believing it's possible. That's probably one of the only time I'm talking about mindset. I prefer to talk about actionable stuff. But this is actionable. Make a goddamn notebook. This is actionable. Try it. Just try it for a month and come back. If it doesn't work, explain to me why, and we try to fix that. I'm very curious about that. Anyways, enough rambling about the mindset. Next one. Stress related to a new environment. Basically, you are leaving school and getting back home with no buddies. Sometimes you are even going back at the other side of the country, back to mom and dad's home. And it's kind of hard because you lose all your social circle, all that context that makes you wake up in the morning. You have the same buddies. You develop some habits about that. And almost overnight, you are losing that. And some people are moving in other country, doing other stuff, not giving news. They don't want to be part of the band anymore. So, oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you. So, stress related to a new environment. My advice about that, first of all, this one is simple and you might read that on some of those shitty articles that I was trashing before. But first of all, make your space comfortable. And if you can, I know it's sometimes hard, but don't walk in the room you sleep. Don't walk in your bedroom, basically. I know sometimes when you're a student, you have only a one-room apartment, so it's not possible. But just not having your bed in your line of sight might already help a bit. This way, when you are in front of your computer, you are like, it's working time. When you are in your bedroom, it's like it's sleep time or chill time. My main advice is, now that we have Discord, especially with the pandemic that developed a lot of the Zoom meetings, the Discord meetings and stuff like that, exactly as you did in class, like every day at 9 a.m. you are in class with your buddies, make daily appointments with your ex-classmates to work together with screen shared on Discord or Zoom or whatever. This way you keep that context, you keep that discipline. I have a very good example about that. When I quit school, my best buddies at the time was also quitting school almost at the same time as me, a bit later. And I was like, dude, I'm horrible at waking up in the morning. You are an early bird. I'm a night owl. I'm giving you the double of my key, the copy of my keys. Every day, 9 a.m., you open my door, you come to my home, you wake me up, and we walk together at my home. So he moved his computer to my room. And every day, 9 a.m. is what he was opening the door and literally dragging me out of the bed. We're having the breakfast. We're starting to walk at 9:30. And around 10, I was able to walk with him. And this was how I did, to keep that context of class a bit. And at the beginning, it was with only one person, and then it was with 2, and then 3 other buddies. And we were walking almost every day together. If you are back to dad and mom's home, please try to establish healthy boundaries with them, as they need to respect your daily work time. And of course, dad and mom will always assume you will come back crying without money to their home, and they will be always there for you in general, because there are some exceptions. But at the same time, they also expect you to still be a baby. So you need to establish healthy boundaries, like, hey, from 9 to 6 every day, please don't disturb me. unless this is very important. Don't ask me to do the laundry. Don't ask me to walk the dog. Don't ask me to do that. I'm not a kid. I'm just trying to walk, and I have no choice but to walk there. I'm already thankful that you are hosting me and allowing me to basically be live there. So try to establish healthy boundaries. They need to respect your day walk down if you're at home. But maybe you can also be a bit flexible to also adapt to the rhythm, like in terms of lunch hours, having a bit of time with them and stuff like that. It's possible. I've been doing that for a long time with my mom and my sister, because when I finished with Cantic Dream, I went back to my mom's home. I was starting to establish myself as a freelancer, so it took like three to 6 months. And when I was ready to finally sign for my apartment, 2 days before signing for my apartment, boom, lockdown. So I got stuck for almost one additional year, like 9 to 10 months. I got stuck from to almost 1 year, March to February, with my mom and my little sister. My mom is a school teacher. We are living at the top of the school. My sister was 16 years old at the time, so she was in high school. So my mom was at some point treating me like a kid, like, hey, do this. Can you help me remove the dishes from the dishwasher? I was like, Mom, I'm just trying to walk and I need to get focused for at least 2 hours, to warm up. Please stop interrupting me. It was pretty hard. It was a bit of discussion, to be honest. But at the same time, it was necessary. And at some point, we started to find a balance. Like, okay, you leave me alone, but in the morning when you go to work, I still have time. I can already put up the table and get the dishes out before starting working. This is 15 minutes, but at least you are not interrupting like 5 times in the morning. So it's a middle ground to find. It's kind of tough. But my main tip about new environment is make daily appointment with your ex-buddies. This one. This will help you. You will have company to talk to. And this will be a lot easier. This might not be as relevant now that we are used to the lockdown studies and lockdown culture, I guess. But we never know. Let's move to stress related to social skills. AKA, I'm losing the social aspect of the class. People are getting back to dad and mom's home. Some people are disappearing from the radar, and others are getting busy with a new job. And I'm still left on my own and I want to get out and some drinks and stuff like that. My main tip, please do that. Oh, thanks. Thanks, man. Anytime, up to see you maybe tomorrow or soon. I'm streaming almost every day, to be honest, outside from the weekend. But yeah, thanks a lot. And if you want, you can also join the Discord if you want. With a lot of very, very motivated people, mostly artists, but we welcome everyone that is motivated. Anyways, have a nice evening. Take care. So, oh, nice. See you tomorrow then. Anyways, so stress related to social skill. Just join a club. Get back to your hobbies. Like if you are doing archery before, get back to the archery club. If you are doing music, get back to the music school or the music band. Or else go to the gym or go to the dojo. You will meet new people. You will make new social circle. Plus, it's a way for you to avoid doing only art 100% of the time. And disappointment at the club, the gym, the dojo, it will establish some kind of structure within your schedule, which is something you will need. You need structure. Plus, side note on the dojo or the gym, it's hard, it's tough, it hurts. And there's no losers at the gym or the dojo. Because when you join, you either stay. And even if you are a loser, you are not, because you are not quitting. So you are becoming someone who stays, someone that is resilient. So you are building strength, resilience, the ability to endure pain, which is a very good quality, whilst you're quitting. So there's no losers at the job, at the gym or at the dojo. And we'll see why it's so important to avoid losers like the plague very soon. Or even a club. Let's say you are doing fencing or any competitive sport. There's no losers anymore. Because only the winners or people willing to endure pain stay. So in any case, it will strengthen your mind too. So 2 birds, 1 stone. By getting back to a hobby, you are making new social circles and your friends are getting new opportunities to socialize and to get out and to have drinks and stuff like that. You're taking care of your health. You're structuring your schedule. And also, you are in a circle made entirely of winner or future winners. So, 6 birds, 1 stone. Join a fucking club, the gym, or the dojo. Please. Stress related to learning by yourself. This one depends on who you are. Some people will handle that very well. Some people will hate that. Technically, again, if the school is a good school, you should have been learning for years how to be autonomous and how to learn by yourself. That's something that I've told yesterday. Even if you are good in class, good at school, you should always strive for more and go beyond what the school is teaching you. So even if the school is teaching you a lot, you should always be watching some tutorials, some Gumroad, some Learn Squad, and whatever, in order to expand your knowledge beyond what the school is telling you. This is how you really improve. If you are good, you have all the reasons in the world because you can afford crashing a bit your grades while still remaining above average. So you can use that as a margin to learn more and to compound that over time and over time and over time in order to get better and better and better, make a real gap and a real difference between you doing the work and learning even more and people just being content of what they receive at school and thinking that it will be enough. Even for good school, it's not to diminish good school. It's just that if you have that mindset, you will go even further and faster and easier at some point. So, how to find some ways to learn. This is for art, but this is good for everything. Please avoid shitty websites like Skillshare. I hate that website. It's like, hey, let's learn to do watercolor. Fuck. Go to Gumroad. Go to Learn Squad. Go to find a mentor. And please, if you are finding some nice tutorials, find some tutorials from a professional. Like a real professional, not XX Dark Sasuke 69 from Tumblr. Nobody gives a fuck about that guy. Please, if you want tutorial, like for concept art, go for Shadi Safari, Chama, Rafael Lacoste, Maciej Kuchara, James Pake, John G. Park, Greg Rutkowski, guys like that. Nick Gindro, Ant Lebrun, Jet Saber, guys like that. Don't go for a random artist on Tumblr, whatever, doing a $1 Gumroad. Fuck. On Gumroads, generally, if it's below $5, it tends to be shit, to be honest. Not as valuable as the $20 tutorials. If it's like 60, generally, that's, of course, that's a lot of money. That tends to be valuable, like Florent Lebrun, maybe $30. It's Florent Lebrun, you know it's good. Learn Squad, it's $100 to $200. But it's Jamma, it's Maciej, it's guys like that. It's Max Bowman. So, of course, it's good, but it's a price for quality. If you find some tutorials that is good from pro, stick to it for at least 1 week to 10 days without going to another one, because you need to master the content of the tutorial. There's a difference between being able to follow the tutorial and basically you are doing something very close to what the instructor is doing, similar subjects, similar techniques and stuff like that, but not as good. You master it when you are able to use the techniques on a completely different subject. And generally it takes 7 to 15 days of sticking to that tutorial. Otherwise, there's a problem for your portfolio, and we'll talk about that at some point. If you are just following the exercise and putting that in your portfolio, it will be like, oh, that's cute, that's another 8 Tanzania tutorial. We have seen 3,000 of them already on ArtStation.
Stupid. Stupid.
Nope. Don't do that. Don't have a portfolio filled with Gumroad tutorials. We see them so often in the industry, and it's kind of sad, to be honest. Another option is to find a mentor, if you can. This is the fastest way to learn by far, if you find a good mentor. Here's how to find a good mentor. There are a few things. First of all, this mentor needs to have or have achieved something that you want. Don't pick a mentor that has achieved nothing in his life. Don't pick a mentor that is doing something completely different to what you do. You want to be good at matte painting? Learn a mentor that is a matte painter, like professionally, like Stephen Corman or Max Bowman. This person needs to be more successful than you, of course, because it needs to have something that you want, which is basically a career, prestigious career in the industry that you are aiming towards. This person needs to be trustworthy and not to be a dick. Even though some kind of mentor might be a dick, but for educational purpose. But generally, this person needs to be trustworthy and reliable. Like, it's an established mentor. It has good reviews and stuff like that. It brings results, basically. This might seem kind of esoteric, but it's, again, with trustworthy. Make sure that this mentor has no addiction, including alcohol or social media or stuff like that. This is very important. Again, it's about the trustworthy and the reliable aspect of the process. Because sometimes you have some crazy good artists that are addicted like to illegal stuff or alcohol or whatever. And you realize that these persons, they are very good, but they are pretty unreliable. They will teach you how to be unreliable. And sometimes they are just very good, but are unable to explain that. To vet your mentor, you must make sure that this person is reliable again. And finally, the last criteria to find a mentor is this person needs to be willing to help you with little in return for them. It might be just money. It shouldn't be, hey, you owe me 10 years of your life. No. Like Jama, you pay 1 to 3K depending on the quality of mentorship you want. These guys will teach you for 5 weeks. You pay $1,000 on Learn Squad. Boom. You get 1 month or even 6 weeks worth of mentorship from a good artist. And it might be a lot of money. It's still little in return. It's not signing a pact with the devil with your soul. It's not spending hours and hours working for them for free. Just give me money. This is a way to pay for my time that I will give you as a mentor. This is fine. And sometimes some mentors are also willing to help you for almost free. And if you can't afford a mentor, find someone who has a successful process and learn from him. That's what I said with pick big artist, not XX Daxasuke 69 on Tumblr, please. Next. Stress related to not knowing what to do or what you want. This is very similar to... oh, this is a double actually. So let's keep that. Stress related to getting your first job and doing your applications. Again, this one, it's a bit on the mindset side, I'm sorry. But let's make it actionable. Try to see it as a game. It's going to be a strange comparison, but it's like in an RPG, like in World of Warcraft or Iron or whatever. You start level 1, you have no gear. And see that first job as the boss. the end game boss, like in the epic dungeon or whatever. You need to prep for that. You need to learn the rules of the game. You need to master what you are good at. You need to gear up. You need to prepare. You need to train. And generally, you don't succeed on that epic raid at the first attempt. It's just a game of number. It's like playing Dark Souls. You see the first boss, you are like, I'll never be able to beat that shit. Then you learn, slowly but surely. It's harsh, you fail, get back, a bit further. And it's exactly the same with an application. So try to see that as a game. If the gamification of things talks to you, it talks to me a lot. And generally as an artist, especially in art school for 3D and animation, we tend to have that gaming aspect. Try to transpose that gaming aspect like in Overwatch or Dark Souls to your job and to the learning process, and it will help you tremendously. So basically, what are the rules of the game? What is the meta? This is simple. This thing, I'm making a small plug right now. I'm working a big mentorship on how to get your first job. This is the TLDR. If you understand what I will say right now, it's worth like 90% of my mentorship. I'm explaining the how and the why and details, of course. But this is the TLDR. If you understand that and are able to apply that by yourself, you don't need my mentorship. So the next 10 seconds will be like worth $500. You ready? About a company, if you want to get a job inside a company, do the same thing as they do. Same style, same process, same tools, a similar subject, but slightly different enough for you not to do simple carbon copy or fan art of their IP. Do an entire portfolio this way, like 20 to 25 sheets. Apply. And boom, you get a job. And I swear on everything I have, the company is hiring juniors. If you do that, you get the job. And in 95% of students that I've seen or in teaching, the problem is not the technique. The technique is good enough. The problem is that they don't do that. And guess what? When they do that, even if they are not the best in school, they get a job. I have two examples. Let me just open that. Two persons. Quentin Gillet. He was in my class. And he had to redo the second year because no one was betting a single dime on that guy. I got him in my first ever course that I was teaching at. I was in the same school. I had it as a student. He was my classmate the year before. He was the first one asking me the real questions. And he was also the only one in his class willing to try my process, like exactly what I said. The same thing. Same process, same tools, just slightly different. The similar subject yet. He was willing to do that. I helped him. His first job was on the Division 2. Not bad. And then was able to work on Assassin's Creed. Not bad. 3 years of experience working on Assassin's Creed. You can hardly dream of something better, to be honest. One of the biggest franchises in the world. Just because he did that. And even though I really respect his work and he's very efficient, this is concept art. So this is rough. This is sketchy. This is not the most polished on a technical standpoint. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Because it does exactly what the company wants. That's how you get a job. Second one, Medicine Armor. I'm so proud of that girl. It's like 99% her success, and I was just doing the spark. I did nothing else. I just sparked the thing. Because when she was at school, she was already walking in that style and only that style. She didn't want to do anything else. And all the teachers were like, hey, you need to do something else. You need to do something else. You need to adapt your style. Nobody wants that shit. The hidden message, the covert message was like, hey, you're always doing the same thing. We won't be able to print your stuff and put it on our walls and have a lot of variety. So it's not good for us. I was the first teacher telling her, hey, you know what? When we see your work, we know that you want to work at Riot Games. Just stick to it and be stubborn with that. And guess what? Boom. She worked on fucking League of Legends as an intern. Even before she finished school. Fucking Riot Games. While being 21. As a first job. Not bad. Just with that simple principle. Do the same thing as they do. Same style. Same process. Same tools. A similar subject but different enough for you not to do a simple carbon copy of their IP or fan art. Do an entire portfolio this way. Apply. Boom. Win. Simple as that. And even if you fail at some job and application, just review them. That's more the stress related to dealing with rejection. It's just a game of numbers. Again, it's like fighting a boss in Dark Souls or trying to succeed at a big raid in World of Warcraft. You need to try like 50 times before you finally get it. It's just a game of numbers. But it's a game of numbers as long as you are learning from your mistakes. So have a notebook and track every interview. Try to track everything in the interview, in the hiring process. Like this company, I got an email response, I got a phone call interview, and then they shut me down. Why? Try to review your interview. If you can, sometimes it's illegal, but if you can, try to record your interview. This way you can review it and you delete that. Just keep it for you. You don't leak it, of course. Please don't leak it. But keep it for yourself if you can. And review the interview and see where your mistakes are. It's as simple as that. This way you can review, and exactly the same way you do for Dark Souls boss. Now you are learning to roll in time. Now you are learning how to unlock the auto target and to move freely to avoid the dragon breath or whatever. You're learning how to time, you're learning patience, you're learning how to roll, you're learning how to parry. At some point you can stomp on the game. But only if you are willing to admit that you have made a mistake and that you are willing to learn from them. Then you track it, you review it at every interview, and every time you get better. So you have the first phone call, get shut down. Then again, first phone call, success. You go to the art test, got shut down. Art test, got shut down again. Review. Oh, you didn't follow the script perfectly. Okay, this time you follow. Boom, you go to the final interview. Fail. Next one. Phone call interview, good. Art test, good because you followed the script. Interview, and now you nailed it. Boom, you get a job. Just need one success. Get your first job. Don't need 50, you just need one. So it's just a game of number. I'm gonna clip that. Stress related to competition, aka seeing your buddy succeeding before you. This is the dark part of the stream. Jealousy is you drinking the poison and hoping the other person will die. Think about that. There's no point, no advantage at all at being jealous. Instead, ask tips to that person about how he or she got that job, what was the hiring process, how it went, to get some insiders information. Plus, ask that person to keep you updated if the company he or she is working at is hiring new people. Maybe this person can get your portfolio and slide it to the art director's desk and vouch for you. This works a lot like that in the industry. This way you make your network work for you. Hello, kitty. Stop scratching my back. See? Kitty for my goals. It's been 5 years that I wanted a fucking Maine Coon. I had the money for it, just didn't have the apartment. Because I was always moving before, then I got stuck to my mom's home. And yeah, I have my dream cat. I love him. How are you doing, buddy? Will you come? No. Anyways. Stress related to finance as an unemployed person. AKA your student loan. Stop scratching my back! This one, there will be an entire video about that because this is a serious subject. You can't TLDR it. So please be patient. I'm going to do it probably next week. There's going to be a lot of math. It's going to be a bit scary, but it's very important to be aware of that. When you're looking for your first job, please don't, unless you have a crazy fandom and commissions all the time and you can make more than the average wage, just thanks to your commissions, don't do shitty commissions when you are looking for your first job in a company. Because it pays like shit. Because it's eating up all your time. It's not something you can do in your portfolio because individual commissioning you have shitty taste in general. Nothing against them. But it's not something you can put in your portfolio. So you are losing your time. You're getting underpaid. And you're getting tired. And doing this just for barely enough money to survive. For stuff you can't put in your portfolio. So basically you are wasting your time and your energy. And it would be better for you to get a side job, like part-time, like selling French fries at McDonald's or working at a grocery store or whatever. Rather than doing that, it would be more time and money efficient. You would get more money for the time that you give. And this way, the remaining time, now that you are free and you can afford to work on your portfolio without worrying about the money consequences of that, you can work on your portfolio. And the worst part of that is that if you are doing shitty commission for too long, you can get absolutely disgusted by working and doing art, to be honest. I got a buddy who did that for 3 years and he was completely disgusted at doing art because he was only struggling and he never wanted to understand. He absolutely never wanted to understand the fact that, hey dude, the price that you are working at for your commissions, it's worse than selling French fries at McDonald's. You're spending 60 hours per week to make less than 6K a year. 6 fucking K a year, that's nothing. Instead, you work 10 hours per week at McDonald's. You make the same amount of money as working 16 hours on shitty commissions. And you have 50 hours left to work on your portfolio. What can't you understand with those math? Are you?
Stupid.
The only thing that this guy was telling is no, but at least I'm drawing. I don't want to get down on working at McDonald's and stuff like that. I'm worth better than that. I'm worthy of living off my art. No, because you're working 60 hours per week to make 6K a year. That's less than, this is less than the average wage in France, or the minimum wage. That's 3 times less. This is not a job, this is slavery. Wake up, you idiot.
Stupid. Stupid. Stupid.
So yeah, if you need money, unless you have a crazy fandom already, in that case, get started, that's fine. But if you have like 1 or 2 commission per month, sometimes something that brings you like $400, unless it's enough, in that case, that's fine. Maybe you are living like in Ukraine or Greece and you don't need that much money. In that case, it might be good. In those poor countries, that's good, actually. You can get US clients. You live in Ukraine, you need 150 euros. You get 400 euros worth of commission per month. Actually, that's a good plan. That's better than working at McDonald's. If you are living in France, in the US, in the UK, in Germany, whatever, in any expensive country, this is a shitty plan. To work part-time, like 10 hours per week, this is fine to cover your expenses, technically. And you have the rest of the week to do your portfolio. Be smart about that, please. And in any case, again, as we said yesterday, just track every single expense that you have to the penny, even if it's a coffee at $20 at the coffee machine. Track it on a notebook. At the end of every month, you review that and you realize how much you waste on shitty things that you don't need. And magically, you adjust. Simple as that. Just need to get scared once and it's fine. Stress related to exterior expectations like your parents, your friend, and your teacher. This one is tricky again. We're gonna just talk about the parents and then the friends and stuff like that. We're gonna talk about them separately. Tell your parents to help you as much as they can. If they can, of course. If they can't help you financially, just at least trust you. And yeah, trust you. As simple as that. Generally, the parents don't understand the jobs that we are in, or that we want to get in. So it's very hard for them to rationalize what's going on. Like I used to, hey, have a degree, have a job. Can you live out of your art? Isn't that like a dream stuff, like a passion, whatever? No, it can be a job. It's just different. And guess what? You don't even need a degree for that. It's a bit different. The stakes are different. The way you get inside the industry are different. And it's basically a new generation, to be honest. Unless you are in STEM, medicine, or very high-end jobs, or high-end fields, you don't really need a degree anymore now to succeed. And actually, most of the richest people don't have any degree at all. So, new generation, new codes. And if you can't make them understand that, just ask them to trust you. If you have delivered during the entire years at school, they should be able to trust you because they see the pattern. If you tell them, hey, dad, mom, I need a bit of time. I need like 6 months to 1 year. Trust me, it's going to be fine. I'm going to find it. I just need a bit more time to redo my portfolio or whatever. Because I was in a school that was not preparing my portfolio in the good direction, but I understand how it works now. Yeah, just ask them to trust you. But please, if they are giving you some deadlines, do your best to deliver, because you don't want to disappoint your parents about that. Don't be a leech with them. Don't exploit their love. Technically, parents love you absolutely unconditionally, but at some point you need to fly with your own wings. Now, this is the dark part of the stream. This will be about stress related to toxic surroundings and jealous people. I could make an entire presentation about that. It's going... If I was doing that, it would be very, very violent and it would probably get demonetized. So let's try to keep it chill and correct. A few distinctions. The first ones are what I call crabs in a bucket. Second one are jealous friends. Let's start with crabs in a bucket. These are basically some loser friends that don't want you to succeed. Because if you succeed, we tell the message that they are shit. It's like putting a mirror in front of their face. They don't want you to succeed to feel like shit. So they will try to sabotage you in a covert way. You see that a lot. For example, at school or after school, especially with people like they are not achieving anything. They are not amounting to anything. They are playing video games all day long. They are doing nothing with their lives. You are trying to put a dent in the universe. You are trying to basically get your portfolio, get your first job. You are doing your best. You are applying. And you have that guy, that girl thing. No, why don't you want to get drunk with me tonight? At the bar, we're going to drink 6 pints of beers and get wasted tonight. Or why don't you want to play Overwatch with me for like the entire day? Oh, there's that new game. Don't you want to play with me for the week? We are doing a marathon on the new World of Warcraft expansion. No. You idiot.
Stupid.
You fucking donkey.
Stupid.
I'm doing my portfolio. That's the most important thing right now. You should do the same, you idiot. This is the kind of crab in a bucket. And they are actively trying to sabotage you. Basically, they don't want to feel like shit. And rather than doing the work, they are trying to sabotage each other. Honestly, recognize them because they are always unlucky. It's never their fault. Like, hey, if I didn't get that job, it's not my fault. It's because, I don't know, luck. It's always luck in general. There's always an excuse. And you know what? This is harsh, but when you have a problem, you can either find some excuses or some solutions. I'm going a bit on the hustle culture right now. I'm sorry, but those people, they are full of excuses. They have no solution. They are finding problems for every solution. Every time you suggest something to them to help them, like, no, but you understand, I have this and I have this problem and I can't do that because my computer is not fast enough. Stop whining. You're supposed to become a responsible adult. Not a kid anymore. Stop whining. Find solutions. Or else you will never become a professional and get your job. So yeah, you recognize them very easily. They are always unlucky. Always pissed. It's never their fault. Never their fault. They are never questioning themselves. According to them, they are always doing everything right. If you scratch a bit the paint is starting to chip. Start to see some shit behind. Honestly, those people, you cut them from you. Just cut them from your circle. It's as simple as that. It's not simple. But cut them from your circle. These guys are parasites. Second one, even worse, jealous friends. They become crabs in the bucket in some way. These are like the backbiting people. Like, let's say you succeed, you are making your portfolio, and it's like, oh, you must have spent so much time on that. Oh, you must have struggled so much to get that job. Oh, you must be paid so much at that job you just get. Backbiting. You're supposed to be my friend. technically a friends. Some friends, technically, they want good for me. At least that's my definition of friends. And you are becoming bitter just because I succeed. You punish me for my virtues, for my success. Fuck you. Fuck you. Get away from me.
You look ridiculous. I don't take lessons from you.
How embarrassing.
So drop those people behind. Simple as that. It's not simple. But once you recognize that, a jealous friend is horrible. It's even worse than an enemy, to be honest. Because this person is pretending to be your friend. And yeah, this is with jealous friend and crabs in the bucket. When they are telling you, when you are telling them about something you want to do, like, hey, I want to apply to Ubisoft. They will always tell you, no, you shouldn't, because you will get crushed if you get rejected, you will doubt. And it's very hard, and I care for you, buddy. They always care for you. By giving you any reasons in the world not to try. This sideways to my next point. That is something that my mentor is telling us all the time. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you spend most of your time with 5 losers, broke, no money, no job, no ambition, they play Overwatch all day long, you will be the 6th one. You spend your time with 5 people that are working hard, having healthy life, healthy balance, healthy sleep, healthy eating. I want to put a dent in the universe. I got that job. You will be the 6th one. I want to go even further. If you are the most intelligent people in the room, you are in the wrong room. Because if you do an average, you are losing. You are getting dragged down. You want to be the stupidest people in your room. You want to be surrounded by professionals already. You want to network with professionals, like people, like ex-students of your school who already got the job. Network with them. You ask them how they did that. You ask them for help. They will gladly help you. Because you learn so much when you are teaching. For that, of course, you need to be teachable. But remember, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. That's as simple as that. And you can apply that to crabs in the bucket. You can apply that to jealous friend, to what we call energy vampires next. But this is so important. Think about the 5 person you spend the most time with right now. When I was a student, I was spending most of the time with other students. Like, drop out of school, I was spending the most of my time with 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 other person that wanted to get that job too. And we all got the job except 1 person. Now, I'm basically, the people I'm hanging out with are people who all wants to become millionaire. I have a few millionaires in my friend list. I'm not a millionaire by any means, by the way. But if I want to become one day and become wealthy, thanks to my art, by the way, I need to get advice from people who made it. That's how you find a mentor. So I need to find advice from great artists. I need to find advice from great mentors and great teachers. I need to find advice from great entrepreneurs and millionaires who made money. I need to find advice from people who did the marketing and the social media well. in order to get my teaching message everywhere. My art everywhere. And finally, I need to hang out with people who know shit about crypto. But there's no way I can succeed if all my closest friends, all of them, are just broke losers. Just play Overwatch all day. That's why I ditched out most of my circle a few months ago, because they were all like that. Always unlucky, never got a job in their life, were always complaining that it was the world against them, never wanted to question themselves or to think that they might have done some mistakes in their lives. I want to be part of those persons. I'm feeling like I'm surrounded by mediocrity, and this is not to sound hardy or stuff like that. This is just, I don't like to be dragged down. And those people, they are toxic to me. Even if they want to be positive, indirectly they are being toxic. It's like having a leech on your arm. The leech doesn't care about you. She is not mean. It's not mean. It's just an animal sucking blood. But for you, it's a fucking poison. Remove that shit. Simple as that. I know I'm saying it's as simple as that. It's not, because the problem is that you can't save everyone. You can't save everyone, so... And not everyone wants to be saved. Those always unlucky, they don't want to be saved. They don't want to do the work. It's not your mission to save them. So try to save yourself first. Get your job first, and once you know to get a job, you'll be able to teach that. Once you run through the struggles, you will be able to explain that to newcomers, to your pupils, some other students that are still at school. You'll be able to help them, to give them a vision that they don't have yet. You will allow them to avoid the traps that they don't see yet and that you have been through. But for that, you need to sell yourself first. You need to get the job first, and then you can teach that. That's why people who are unable to save themselves, they won't be able to save you. They'll only be able to teach you how to drown yourself even more. It's always toward the darkest of them. Those people that don't want to be saved, plus that are trapped in the buckets and jealous energy vampires. This term is used generally in relationships. I'm not a relationship expert, by the way, by any means. But generally, you always have someone with what is called like the nurse syndrome. They want to help people to feel some kind of internal void. Okay? If I help people, I'm feeling nice. I'm feeling full and fulfilled. And this is a way to feel a void in my heart and whatever. I want to help people. I have to sacrifice myself to help them. That's my duty. And strangely enough, those people, they attract parasite energy vampires. People that are always unlucky, always victim, always looking for someone to save them. But guess what? They don't want to be saved. They just want to leech you out of your resources. And you will see that once you get out of school. Because as soon as you start to succeed, there will be a lot of people trying to leech you. I'm pretty sure if you're a student, especially in second year, you always have, at some point, some messages like 12 hours before having to give back some homework, some important homework. You have someone that you don't know that never talked to you, like, hey, apparently you are in second year, I'm in first year, can you help me, please? Why are you asking me? Oh, you are in shit and you want me to save you because you're expecting me to be nice. It's fine to be nice. It's fine. But can this person bring you something back? If you are in need, can this person help you back? If this person can, of course, help that person. This person is just being opportunistic with you and betting on you being nice. You're just sacrificing your time for nothing in return. That's how you notice energy vampires, because those people, they want to sacrifice themselves with nothing in return. Apparently helping people is already enough return. And those people, it will never be enough. Help me do that, help me do that. You give this, they take you that. You will recognize them. They are always unlucky. They're always looking for like a second mom, a second dad. They're always panicking. They look vulnerable, but they are the ones ruling you. Again, I'm not a relationship expert, but that's something you can see a lot. There are archetypes like pervert narcissist and stuff like that. I've been having a lot of cases around that, especially in my family about that. Like a stepdad that was exactly like that with my mom. And this person always wants to be saved. And whatever you are doing, you can move the planet, you can move mountains for that person. It's not enough. It's not fixing anything because those persons don't want to be saved. They want to be in a perpetual state of victimhood. They want to be helped. They want to leech everything from you. So cut out those leeches from your lives. I know this is a dark part. This is all about knowing how to let go of people and grieving them. And generally, if you know the grieving process or aware of the different stages, that's where you can recognize when it's time to let go. The grieving process: shock, and anger, basically, denial, bargain, resignation, acceptation. Let's go through that. Shock and anger. At some point, you get pissed non-stop by that person. It's like, oh, you did that again. Oh, come on, bro. Come on. Why did you do that? Stuff like that. You're always getting pissed. You're like, what the fuck? You're getting angry. You want that person to change. You're like, oh, please. What's wrong with you?
You fucking donkey. You deserve a kick in the nuts.
That's the first thing you need to notice. Then you are in denial. No, that's fine. It's just a rough stage. That's fine. Maybe it's me. Maybe that's me the problem. I don't know. Something like that. Like, no, that's not that bad. You are finding excuses for them. Basically, you're trying to excuse them. Like, oh, it's okay. They are trying to do that. They are going through a rough stage. Maybe that's me. I'm beginning to become picky or whatever. Then bargaining. You are trying to change, and you are, hey, I want you to try to change that. You are trying to have discussion. You are trying to adapt. Maybe you are taking the responsibility of you changing instead of them. Stuff like that. You're trying basically to save something. It doesn't work. You're back to getting pissed and frustrating all the time. It's an endless loop. Until you accept that, you're like, okay, this person is a fucking pile of shit. Finally, you accept that. You accept being okay, being angry at that person, being pissed at that person, and being in some way becoming incompatible with that person. That's resignation. It's still painful. At some point, you cut that person and you're like, you know what? It's painful, but that's okay. It's the best thing to do. That's how you went through the entire grieving process. But if you can recognize that I'm getting pissed nonstop at that person, I'm trying to change that person, and getting even more pissed, that's the beginning of the grieving stage. That's what you need to recognize in order to ditch out those toxic person. It's not because you are a bad person or they are a bad person, it's just that you are becoming incompatible with that person. It's hard. It's also a way to cut a huge source of stress and struggle from your life. It leaves room for better persons. I did that a few months ago. A bunch of losers. And now Most of my friends, I told you, they are high level people now. One of the stupidest person of the group. And my other close circle, they are students actually. Because I 100% prefer very motivated students that wants to learn, that have dreams, that have goals, rather than graduate people that just gave up. So much better. I don't want people who give up. I want people that are motivated, that are pushing me to become better. That's how you grieve people. Finally, stress related to tunnel vision and lack of frame. Oh, before I go to that, I just want to add one other punchline. I don't know the verbatim version, but basically, it's always time better spent trying to build and create new relationships than it will ever be trying to reconstruct a failed one. Never try to root through the garbage to salvage something that you have dragged to the curbs. If you dig through the trash, get messy, it's painful. People around you see that. And what you are finding back is never as valuable as you thought it was. It's always better to develop fresh and prospective relationships that will ever be to attempt to reconstruct a failed one. It's not like zero tolerance either, but if you are already through the grieving process, you already have made your mind. Have made up your mind. You are just waiting for something or someone to give you permission to let that person go. If that person is toxic, there's no reason. Again, it's like having a leech tolerating that. No. And getting angry at someone is like drinking the poison and hoping them to die or to suffer. Don't drink the poison. Be stupid. So, next part. It's over. It's almost a 2-hour presentation. Oh my god. Stress related to tunnel vision and lack of frame. This one is going to be simple. Tunnel vision, like always doing art non-stop all day long. So it's basically, and lack of frame is like a lack of structure in your day. It's like YOLO. YOLO. I'm always doing art, YOLO. I'm eating at irregular time, sleeping at irregular time. It's basically the result of bad habits when you were at school. You just need to recognize that and break them down. And honestly, if you want to have structure in your life, again, get a hobby, get in a club, get at the dojo, at the gym, and have regular hours. This will put some structure in your life. This will bring you a social circle, a hobby, some other reasons to go out with some buddies. So technically, it should already work in order to structure your life and make you avoid doing only the same thing and not seeing anything else around in your life. And the problem of tunnel vision is that as you keep focusing only on art, you're sacrificing all the rest of your life. And you might sacrifice aspects that might contribute to your happiness, like relationships, being healthy, sleeping well, eating well, stuff like that. So I get rid of the bad habits we mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, basically. That's all, folks. 1:49. I'm gonna go to the Discord. If you have any questions or want to further discuss some subject, I'm gonna stay for like 2 minutes. Someone want to join, or if you have some questions, write them down in the chat. But then that I'm gonna stop. I'm rinsed. Talking for 2 hours non-stop, it's tough. Yeah, I hope you found it useful, because I'm trying to give actionable solutions. Not just try to be positive. Try to take care of yourself. Try to see the glass half full and not half empty. It's about who you become, not who you are, stuff like that. Please. Let's have actionable advice. Stress and struggle is kind of serious subject, so let's be serious when you are treating that. Let's avoid just doing that for the clicks. Let's do that, you know, to help people. Hello, Easy. Have you been there the whole time? How are you texturing doing, by the way? I'd like my cat to be on my lap to look like a super villain. Don't want to be on my laps. Anyways, let's call it done, to be honest. Thanks a lot for coming, folks. Thanks a lot for watching. Again, if you're on YouTube, seeing the replay, smash the like, subscribe. Come to watch it live on Twitch. It's going to be fun. Because we can interact together and it's better. If you want to share your experience or your tips, feel free to write them down in the comments. If you disagree, I would love to hear your comments and maybe even discuss that with you in voice chat in order to find some solutions together and to address some stuff I might have missed. Or to have other points of view that might also work. It might be nice. As always, you can find me almost every day. Twitch.tv/theartnest at 9 p.m. European time, so CET, or 3 p.m. EST. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to join the Discord down below. We're building a nice community of very motivated people. Very sane. There's no crabs in the bucket. There's no leeches. There's only very highly motivated and high-achieving people there. In the meantime, wish you a good day, or good night, or good evening. Whatever. Take care and see you tomorrow.